Welcome to another class with some driving vocabulary. We've got some idioms firstly. So if somebody is in the driver's seat, then they are in control of the situation because the driver is in control of the vehicle. So in this metaphor, the person who's being described by the metaphor is in control of a situation. Any situation it could be, but if you're in control, you're in the driver's seat. Now, if you like to live life in the fast lane, that means you like a risky, exciting life. But if you prefer life in the slow lane, then that means that you're the opposite. You're more safety oriented and you prefer things to be calmer rather than risky and exciting. Okay, if you move up a gear or step up a gear in any of your activities, then that means that you are, if you going up a gear, that means you're trying to do things more efficiently, faster. Remember that when you move up a gear, you go faster in your vehicle. So you're trying to do things faster, more efficiently, more effectively. But usually there is this element of speed in it when you step up a gear. So perhaps you step up a gear because the deadline has been brought forward, something like that. If the deadline is brought forward, you will certainly need to step up a gear because you'll need to go faster. Now, don't forget that we say reverse for when a car goes backwards. And don't forget that we say back out of a parking space or something like that, meaning reverse out of a parking space. If you do a U-turn, this means turn 180 degrees. In some parts of the road, you can do a U-turn. Yeah, so it's got a very literal meaning where a driver turns 180 degrees. And that is allowed in some parts of the road, but in other parts of the road you're not allowed to do a U-turn. But this is used as a metaphor quite often for when somebody reverses their position, when somebody climbs down on a certain issue. When they completely reverse their position, you can say they did a U-turn. So maybe a minister is in favour of higher taxes, and then he completely changes his mind and says, no, I'm in favour of reducing taxes. He does a U-turn. Yeah, he has done a U-turn. He has completely reversed his earlier position. Okay, so it's used metaphorically and literally. If you're driving, I mean, it's certainly used literally as well. And if you do a 3-point turn, this normally involves ending up turning 180 degrees because you do this when you want to go the other direction, but this is just where you go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's where the driver makes that 3-point turn to make sure that they're going the other direction. So I'm sure all drivers know about a 3-point turn. I've never done one. Now, if you give somebody the green light or give something the go-ahead, give somebody the green light means give that person permission or acceptance to move forward with something, to go forward with something, to go ahead with something. So you're giving somebody the thumbs up to proceed. Yeah, so maybe you're the boss of a company and you give somebody the green light to start a project, or you give the project the go ahead. Yeah, you give the project the green light, and you can say give something the green light, but we normally only use something with go ahead. Give something the go ahead. Yeah, but give somebody or something the green light. So to say okay and say, yeah, that should go ahead, that should happen. Yeah, maybe it's a project or maybe it's somebody who's waiting to do something and you give them the green light. It means you say go, start. Yeah, because the green light in traffic lights means go. If you are at the end of the road, yeah, to be at the end of the road. No, that was the end of the road. Sorry, yeah, this is to be the end of the road for somebody or something. This means that this is the end, yeah, for somebody or something. It actually makes a lot of sense. And I suddenly realised I haven't got dead end down here, so I'm going to put it up here so I don't forget it. But yeah, so if you say this is the end of the road for our business, it sounds like you're going bankrupt or going bust. But if you say this is the end of the road for our marriage, that means it's time to finish, it's time to split up, it's time to divorce. So anything, you can say this is the end of the road for anything really, but you'll often see it for businesses or maybe for marriages, something like that. It means this is the end. Yeah, it's quite obvious. Now, if somebody drives you round the bend or drives you up the wall or drives you mad or drives you crazy, they're all the same. Yeah, we also have this one of he drives me round the bend, he drives me up the wall. It means he really irritates me. He really makes me mad. He drives me crazy. He drives me mad. So remember, we use the verb drive with all of those expressions. Now, you can also say that somebody drives a hard bargain, and this means they are a ruthless negotiator. It's not easy to negotiate with this person because they always drive a hard bargain. They always get what they want at the negotiating table. So people can drive a hard bargain. You can also say that, maybe again, let's come back to the marriage scenario. If we say that money has driven a wedge between them, between this married couple, it means that it has driven them apart. And you can say that as well, drive somebody apart, drive a wedge between somebody, drive somebody apart. So you can say money has driven them apart, or money has driven a wedge between them. And if drive somebody apart means literally make them split up, but drive a wedge between somebody, it means it makes these two people argue. Yeah, it means money has driven a wedge between them. It means it has made them enemies. It has made them argue. It has made them, you know, it has started some kind of conflict between these two people. So something can drive a wedge between two people, usually a couple, but I suppose it could be a friendship. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. And something could drive you two apart as well. We also use drive with something driving the price down. Yeah, so you might say that all of the low low interest rates, yeah, the low central bank interest rates have driven down housing prices. Yeah, it has driven down the price for house. You could also say that the very loose monetary policies have driven prices of food and energy up. Yeah, it's certainly true that prices are skyrocketing, and we could certainly say that the rampant money printing has driven prices up. Yeah, lots and lots of money has been created in the last couple of years, and it's causing rampant inflation. Now, if you are on the road to recovery, you're getting better. Yeah, you haven't recovered yet, but you're getting better. You're on the road to recovery. You're heading in the right direction. And that's another good idiom, really, which is driving vocabulary, to head in the right direction. Yeah, you are heading in the right direction because you are on the road to recovery. Yeah, okay. And if you say, right, time to hit the road, it means time to go, time to leave, time to take off. And do remember that we also use take off for leave. It's not, what's that? It's not just for planes taking off. If you say he took off early, it means he left early. So don't forget that take off can mean leave as well. So time to hit the road, time to leave. And dead end, if you talk about a dead end